In 2015, the Maynooth University Chamber Choir announced themselves on the global music stage by winning the Pavarotti Trophy, earning themselves the title Choir of the World. Since then, I've been lucky enough to sing with the choir, with my brother, at incredible locations like the Grand Canyon and at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. But today, I'll be joining back up with the choir, not to sing, but to record them in one of Ireland's most incredible venues. And to make it even more exciting, they will be accompanied by an organist, which is definitely going to make my job extra difficult. Will I do okay, Chris, do you think?
No, you're going to do well.
So let's start the day before the big recording, where I'm setting up the equipment to make sure I have everything in order. And I'm using some new techniques that I haven't used previously. So I've had to pull in the big guns to help me out. Okay, Chris, we are in the Lark Theatre with the headman himself. Technical manager?
Technical manager.
And Chris has given me all the equipment that we need for tomorrow's recording. The main thing is the Decatree. I actually had to Google how, I thought it was Decatree, like T-R-Y, but it's Deca.
D-E-C-C-A, Decatree.
And it's a tree.
And it's from Decca Music, the production company in the UK. They first came up with the three-pronged microphone recording technique to overcome this problem where people were listening to radios with only one speaker, and it was a mono radio. So if you recorded stereo, sometimes it would get clashed together in the radio station and not sound very nice at all. So using three microphones in this Decatree setup meant that it's easily pushed down to mono and also stereo. So it made a better coverage as well for whatever you was recording.
So then as an audio interface, we're using the Zoom F8N, which I've only really used with the SD card, but now you're using the USB cable, or is it?
Micro USB to USB-A, I think that you're using.
Yeah.
And you can use it as a dedicated, what's the word?
Audio interface, I suppose.
Audio interface, that's what I'm looking for. Yep, so you get all the functionality of the portability of this high quality, I think it's about €1,000 to buy. But you can also use your own DAW on your laptop, PC, or Mac, and get comfortable in recording. Yeah. Because you'll be more comfortable with your Mac.
Yeah, I'm so much more comfortable. Like anytime I've used a Zoom, I'm like praying the SD card picks everything up. I just like having the Logic Pro in front of me. That's definitely where I feel.
Well, that's the thing about the Zoom product in general. They're not built to be really user intuitive. They're built to be small, pocketable field recorders. So to be able to plug it into a laptop and broaden that usability, that's what you need. Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous, but hopefully it goes well. As long as I remember how to turn it on and get the settings right.
And you can always call me.
That's true, I always have Chris. That's advice to everyone. Find someone who knows way more than you and just be able to call them, and they're nice.
That's what I do.
Yeah, thanks Chris. Let's go tomorrow. There was a graduation event here in the incredible college chapel in Maynooth University, which meant I couldn't get in early to set up. So we were already fighting against the clock to have everything set up before the talented Maynooth University Chamber Choir arrived. First things first, let's attack the Decatree and get that set up. I know I spent yesterday getting used to it with Chris, but it's still a relatively new thing to me. At least I had the reliable Zoom F8N that I'd used twice previously, so surely that would work out, right? Well, we'll soon find out. But look at how nifty this tripod is. That's one of the great things about the Zoom, having the 1/4 inch, I think it is, at the bottom of it so you can attach a tripod to it. Definitely makes life a lot easier. So once the stands were up, it was time to continue with the Decatree, accompanied by some nicer lighting. Thankfully Michael, the conductor of the choir, had a couple of minutes to help me set up before the singers arrived. And wait until you hear what they sound like from the Decatree. They're incredible. So we're setting the Decatree up facing the right, so the choir will be in front of it and the organ behind them. The difficult part will be getting the correct distance between the Decatree and the choir and the organ, so I have the perfect balance of them both. So the Decatree box is really nifty. You can see it here after I've taken a few poles out, and I was talking Michael through how it's set up. So you've always pressed one on the back too. So we're going with a standard configuration of 2 meters between the left and right mic and 1 meter in front for the centre mic. But this is kind of as wide as the choir will be, so I feel like it should be okay.
Yeah, that's great.
We were happy with the Debrief setup, so the DPAs, our mics, go on next. These are super expensive, but really lovely sounding mics. It was very nice of Chris letting me run away with his babies for a day. And so the choir started arriving, so I needed the spot mics up straight away, tidy up the DPAs, and start getting our XLRs ready to go. And just as the choir were arriving, this is where I hit my first roadblock. Perfect timing. My head amp, or headphone splitter, wouldn't connect to the Zoom. Yes, I definitely should have checked this beforehand, but thankfully I always come prepared with a headphone splitter that I can just plug straight into the headphone jack, and then that works perfectly with two different headphones. I always have my backup. Thankfully, this was sufficient for the job at hand. And look at this desk that Michael managed to get me. Much better than using a chair. But my joy was short-lived, as I realised I had a lot of cabling to do before the choir finished its warm-up. Even in the warm-ups, this choir sounds incredible. Michael is genuinely one of the best conductors on this planet. Everything he touches in the choral world turns to gold. So it's no surprise he has high standards and expects things to be done on time. Yeah, another 5 I'd say. I was fully stressed, needed to get these XLRs plugged in and ready to go as soon as possible. You can see me going into overdrive here. And then I asked for some help from some of the choir members to help me do the line check, to make sure all the XLRs were plugged into the right Zoom inputs. So all I need you to do is just tap the microphones one by one. It's near side first, I'll just make sure we're hitting the right line checks. Super. So you can just tap or scrape the microphone. Yeah, you can just tap it there, perfect, thank you. I knew all the mics and cables worked as I had tested them the day before, but for some reason the signal was coming in quite low. So it was time for me to get my thinking cap on and try and figure out the issue. 1 second, thanks Matt. I thought testing out the spot mics might give me a little bit more information. Can we try the same now with these three? Sure, yeah. What do you use really? Yeah. Take a break out of PowerPoint. Yeah. But I still couldn't figure out the issue, so I had to call in the big guns. Can we just stop for a second? Sorry. So at this point, I rang Chris. I also sent him a photo of my issue. And pretty quickly, we figured it out. I had totally forgotten that there's a trim and a gain stage on this F8N. I had gained up the track, but I hadn't moved the digital trim, which you can see me setting here. All that was left was for the organ and the choir to move into place, so I could finalise the Debrief position and make sure our gain staging was on point. So without a moment's hesitation, we started some sound checking. While checking the levels of the mics, I was sure to take a couple of deep breaths. It was clear my brain was a little fried from the long setup. But now we're on the creative side of the day, where we can have a little bit more fun and focus on making the best recording possible. And thankfully, it was easy enough to get into go mode, once the incredible organ started playing. So here I am moving the spot mics. So yeah, you might be thinking, it's a bit weird having the spot mics behind the choir. Well, it turns out there's a second choir arriving after this first one. And the idea is that we're going to blend them all together at the end. In a lot of ways, the spot mics are fairly redundant at this stage. And we're nearly solely relying on the Debrief to get the sound that we want. And with the sound check nearly finished, I had the conductor and the organist come down and have a listen and see what they think. Thankfully, they were very happy with the sound. So it was time to get recording for real. Even with no mixing, the choir sounded incredible.
Ray, would you do me a favour? Would you play the bass line on bar 2533, please?
And how cool is that? an organ giving you your lines. So we went through section by section and I made sure to take as many notes as possible. I find when I record with choirs, we can be all over the place with the sheet music, so I really need to be on top of what section we're recording at each time. The more information I give myself later when I'm mixing or editing the track together, the better. The day of recording was flying by, and it wasn't long before the second choir showed up and started rehearsing their pronunciation. It was at this point Michael decided to record the organ on its own, so then he could listen back to the organ with the headphones on and then conduct the second choir to match. This was going to give me a little bit of extra work to do in post, but it would speed up the recording process. And with the time pressure we were under, it was the lesser of two evils. With the organ recorded, Michael came over to me so we could set up the correct playback in his headphones to conduct the second choir. The main challenge of recording the choir, separate from the organ, is that it causes a lot of tuning issues. Without having an instrument as a tonal reference, it can be super easy to go flat. So we had to have multiple takes to make sure we were in the right ballpark. Worst case scenario, I might have to raise a few of the recordings a few cents in the edit.
So it's brilliant. We're going to bring new music into the world. So thank you. Well done, everyone. Thanks, Dave. Well done, Debbie. Thank you.
One thing I always forget to take into account on these busy recording days is the toll it takes on your body. I was dying for the bathroom, so I legged it straight away. But once I was back, I saw a lovely text message from Chris, checking up on me. Thankfully, I only had good news for him. I did have a few issues, especially with the head amp and setting the trim on the Zoom F8N, but we learned from it. I certainly won't be making that mistake again anytime soon. I have to say it's really lovely being able to listen to an incredible organ as you pack up.
Well done, Hugh. Woo. Good job.
Straight after finishing a job, I love having a debrief, trying to figure out what we did well and what we could improve upon the next time, while it's all fresh in our head. So that's the evening over. How did it go? Yeah, I was so stressed at one point and also I was bursting for the bathroom halfway through, but you have to keep going because the second choir scolded they had to leave early.
Yeah, and also the bathroom is a long way away. We're in here in the beautiful Maynooth University College Chapel, or St. Patrick's College Chapel, and what made this kind of hard was we've got this incredible organ up there, and we had to try and find a way of capturing the organ, capturing the choir and capturing the Scola Gregoriana all at the same time, and the mix, basically what we were going to get in the mics now is pretty much what it was going to be when we finish, with a bit of something afterwards. So there was a lot of work there trying to basically get mic placements right, how we mic each choir, if are we going to do spot mics, etc. But we got there pretty quick as well.
Yeah, I definitely think it sounded great, and I think the Decatry is a huge help.
Yeah.
Just having three top quality DPA mics in the right place up there, it just sounds great straight out of the box. You don't have to do too much.
Yeah, the acoustic here is really, really, really long. There's a big reverb, it's wet. So I go, and then it's done. So it's cool.
It's a great sounding room. I feel with all that reverb, it'll sound great no matter what.
Yeah, we don't need to add any more reverb. Yeah, Brent, thanks to you. Appreciate you coming down and doing it with us.
Yeah, we got there in the end. Another one done. I'm happy. You're happy?
Happy.
Woo, on to the next one.
Clap your hands.
And Chris is enjoying laughing at me giving... Yeah, I swear I know things about stuff.